So in this video, I interviewed my mom and my dad, and I asked them to think of a story that made them think or suggested that I would end up here in New York City, attending Parsons, and interested in design management. So I'm calling this video How I Got Here.
So I remember the beginning when Mom was waddling down the street, walking to the hospital to give birth. And I still remember coming home. It was only a block and a half we had to walk, but we still had the stroller and we had to go get a car because it was a state law that we had to have a car seat and a car, even though we only lived a block away. It was one of the most ridiculous things. And ever since then, it's been a lot smoother because Kaylee is so accommodating to most anybody for any reason. She just never ever has any sort of a hard, firm opinion about things, that she just kind of goes with the flow. No, seriously. My daughter Kaylee has an idea and a picture of how things are going to play out, and she's very focused on that, and it's really one of her greatest strengths. Mom has a really awesome story that I stole that was about a project that she was doing once, and we all thought it looked beautiful. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that project had to do, that kind of was one of the beginnings because it had to do with Martha Stewart. So the project was a poster she had to do, and we brought out all the crafts. You remember this, right? We brought out all the crafts, all kinds of artistic paper and buttons and ribbons and stuff like that. And she had to put together a poster to depict the life of Martha Stewart. And I helped her on this one. And it was a beautiful poster.
I remember how beautiful it was.
But then when we woke up on Sunday,
right,
she got up and decided she didn't like it, and she did it all over again.
Right.
To meet her expectation of perfection.
That is the essence of Kaylee.
I think that's something I've always been interested in, is kind of like presenting something so that it looks good. I've always loved in school doing poster projects for things. I loved taking the information from school projects and decorating my poster.
But our first time, we didn't know it at the time, but our first introduction to Kaylee being interested in fashion was that time we drove down to Florida, and we were driving in the car all day long, and Kaylee's in the back car seat sleeping all day long. And when we finally got to a hotel and we were exhausted, we didn't dawn on us that Kaylee wasn't exhausted, and so we went to sleep. And when we woke up in the morning, the suitcase was broken open, and Kaylee had tried on every single outfit of hers for the whole vacation, and they were spread all over the hotel room. Because that's the beginning of her fashion interest.
So the first time I ever remember being interested in fashion or clothes, I think I was in preschool or kindergarten, and I had this big bag full of felt, and I wanted to make my own clothes. So I would try and make skirts and shirts and bags and shoes. I think I even got little pieces of wood and tried to glue felt to them, to the piece of wood, with Elmer's glue, which obviously didn't really work, but I was really into it.
But she started off wanting to be a fashion designer, because back in third grade you had to do you had to do a school project that you had to wear a decorative vest and the career that you wanted. And so Kaylee decorated her vest for fashion design, but I don't know if you remember her vest, and it had all the buttons and it had the needles on it and the ribbons on it. And so that was third grade. That was right around the same time with the Martha Stewart report.
See, I thought it was around that time that she was also interested in being a pastry chef.
No, then it changed.
Okay.
Because she was interested in that, and we do a lot of baking. For Christmas gift, we got her cake decorating.
Right.
And so she really enjoyed the cake decorating, and she did a really good job at it. So then it left from fashion to, she wanted to go into food design.
Right.
And she wanted to do photo shoots for the food and displays.
And then later in middle school, I wanted to be a food designer, which meant for photo shoots for food products, you would design the food or lay out the food in such a way that it was presented well for pictures.
And so then I got all into the home decorating and the organizing and making stuff look good. Then it evolved from there.
And then in high school, I started taking art classes and merchandising classes, and that's how I kind of became interested in business and art and fashion. So that's how I got here.